Hi. We are going to literally nail this question to the wall. Well, I'm going to nail the answer to the wall. And I really want to help you understand a little bit more about how to use the brushes, what brushes to use. It's such a frequently asked question. Like, I don't know what freaking brushes to use for makeup. How do I do it? I'm here to help break it down for you. If you are new here, my name is Mackenzie. I'm a licensed private investigator, but I'm also kind of a little bit of a makeup junkie. I fell in love with makeup over 15 years doing surveillance, and it was boring, and so I did makeup, and that's how I got really good at it. And so I learned so much, and I'm here to share my knowledge of makeup with you and hopefully build your confidence in makeup and your confidence in yourself. So why y'all tell me I had a boogie? Ew. I don't like it. It's like one of them dry ones. It's just like hanging on to your nose hairs. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay. Sorry, I'm disgusting. I have no shame. Okay, so let's talk about the brushes. I'm gonna do a different application on one side of my face and a different application on the other side of my face using different brushes. So this makeup that I use is from Saint. This is a cream compact. It's a customized compact. All the shades are customized to you. So comment match for skin analysis, color match, whatever you want to call it. And I can help you figure out what shades you need. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with a more dense brush. This brush is the 3D brush, okay? This brush has a very densely packed, not super densely. This is I'd say a medium coverage brush. See how these are densely packed, but they're a little bit fluffy, but not like super fluffy. So they're not super bendy. When the bristles are a little bit bendy, but not all the way bendy, it's kind of medium. So this is medium coverage because it's not all the way bendy, but just a little bit. This end is not like it's still bendy, but they're really tightly packed. So this is more of a medium to full coverage brush. Okay. So we're going to use this on one side. Thank you so much. On the other side of my face, I'm going to use the blend brush. So I want to show you how this one, see how this one's much more blendy or bendy. When it's more bendy, that means that you're going to get a more sheer kind of light coverage, right? Because imagine the bristles are fingers and they're just kind of lightly spreading things over your face. When you use something that's more dense, you're going to be pressing it in, right? So we're going to be like kind of stamping, and we're really getting a little bit more of a full coverage, okay? So full coverage, lighter coverage. I don't know why I switched that, but whatever. So full coverage over here, light coverage over here. So let's do this side of my face first. I'm going to use the exact same palette, right? These are my shades, my custom shades that are perfectly matched to me. So when you type the word match, like in the comments here or on any of my posts, I have it set up to send you my color match link, and then you just upload a selfie. I can send you your shades. Okay, so let's get started with this side for a more full coverage look. I'm going to start with, let's do my contour. I'm going to stamp or press, kind of tap into my contour. See how it's just on the tips of the bristles, but it's not a whole lot, but it's enough, right? And we are going to stamp this right where that contour goes under that cheekbone. So I want this contour to stamp right here. I am not like swiping my brush. I'm not bending the bristles. I'm literally tapping, doing a little bit of feathering, kind of pressing into that, and then stamping. Same thing up here. So your contour, you want your contour to go in these areas where it's going to create kind of the shadows, right? So the shadows that you want to either enhance or create. If the Lord forgot your cheekbones, we're going to create some. So that's why we put this here, to kind of give that cheekbone a lift, right? And see how I'm just pressing it here? Remember, this is a medium to full coverage brush. These creams are not wet. They're not like super wet, like drippy, melty, whatever. These are just really beautiful creams that kind of melt into your skin. So it's not super wet and cakey and weird. So same thing here, pressing in. I'm going to kind of enhance this lip a little bit, and I'm going to enhance this on the side of my nose. So we're not doing a lot of bristle bending, right? You notice I'm just stamping, just pressing, okay? When you apply it this way, you're basically just transferring the pigment from your brush to your skin. And as you can see, it's not super wet. It's just a really beautiful, super light coverage. Creams are very intimidating because a lot of people think, oh, it's cream. What am I going to do with cream? So gross. No, it's not. Stop it. Okay. So get your free color match. I'll tell you what shades to get. You can build a palette. Hey, Tiffany, there's Nail Junkie 615. That's who does the nails, you guys. She does all my custom press-ons. Okay, so I've used my contour, which is the darkest shade. It's the scary one that everybody goes, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with that color? Stampy, stampy, stamp, tappy, tap. Stampy, stampy, stamp, tappy, tap. Okay, you can go super light. You can go a little heavier. Totally your preference. Contour, okay? Whenever you blend this, you're going to stamp and press. But I'm not pressing this in and swiping. I am literally super lightly, super lightly, just stamping, pressing, little bit of flicking. This is why I say blend up to Jesus, because you take your contour and blend it up, right? Never blend your contour down. I change mine like toilet paper. I go through mine like toilet paper. Like I will change mine like I change my underwear because I just love the different colors, but they'll stay on a good 2 weeks. She sends it whenever you order nails from her. She sends this really good nail glue, and I shit you not, it is better than the OPI. It is better than the Kiss brand. See, I've tried the OPI, the Salon Perfect, the Red Aspen stuff, the Glamnetic. I can't think of the name of it. It's like Markart or something, but the glue she sends is by far my favorite. Like it'll help. It's my favorite one. And then of course, if you use like the alcohol wipes before you do your press-ons, I find that really helps too. So do the proper nail prep. Markart, thank you. Tiffany, will you please send that person your nail info, your website or something? Like maybe you can message them and let them know. Thank you. Anyways, her name is Tiffany. We've been best friends for like almost 30 years. And she accidentally, like I had an allergic reaction. Yours never stay. Oh my gosh. I had an allergic reaction to acetone after going to the nail salon like religiously every 2 weeks for like 20 years. And then my friend Tiffany was like, I can make you some nails. And I'm like, no, you literally have a master's in like legal studies. You're not going to be making anybody's nails. Like that's weird. That's not what you studied. Like whatever, totally whatever. And she made some and I was like, you need a business. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I shared them and like so many people started asking for nails. So now I forced her to start a business. So telling you, you gotta go get some nails from her. She does a good job. She can literally create anything. She's so creative. Okay. So lightly tapping and pressing my contour. So I have not put on any other makeup, no concealer, no foundation. I literally just did my contour, okay? So I just created a little bit of shape. You can see the difference here and there's nothing here. See how I've created a little bit of dimension? And that's all I've done was a little bit of contour, right? Now let's add the lightest shade, which is our brightening highlight. Your brightening highlight is going to be like the pop. It's going to be kind of like what you might know as concealer. I'm going to take this side of my brush. So this is the 3D brush, the one that's like a medium to full coverage. This side is a little bit pointier, and I'll show you why this is cool. When you come into your brightening highlight, tappy tap, like stamp, whatever you want to call it, just touching the tips of my bristles to the top of my makeup. Okay, so you're not digging, like swiping, shoveling. Excuse me, I got the burpees. And then you just tap. See, just tap, tap, not swiping, just tapping it. So what's cool is that a lot of people think with this makeup, they're like, oh, it's cream, it's gonna whatever, and then how do you blend it? And it's all, you're using one brush. Watch, it's really cool. So tappy tap, I just wanna transfer from the pan to my brush, from my brush to my skin by lightly tapping. And then I would just do a little bit of, see how you don't even bend your bristles. You just lightly tap those colors where they go. Okay, so look, see how I just tap that on? And you can go as light or as heavy as you want as far as your like how much coverage you want or whatever. This same end that I used for my contour, I'm now going to use to blend this bright color. You do not have to wash off your brush, switch brushes, or anything, okay? I just want to show you. This is not like that wet, creamy. It's not like a paintbrush where you dip it in paint. Now it's covered in that color. And now if you want to do it another color, then it's going to mix. This is not like that. I'm just taking my brush and I'm even squeezing it to get a little bit more dense and just pressing it. Yep. You just get a little. You saw it. Tip it, tip it, tip it. See how it's just on the tips and then it just transfers to your face. You can even do a little bit out here if you want to give that illusion of like that lift. So right now we're creating dimension and we haven't bent one single bristle on our brush, okay? You need the brushes and have to order them. Yes, you do. Well, the difference is like, and I was like, I don't need the same brushes. Like I have 500 brushes. I have all the Sigma brushes. Like I'm fancy. It's not about the quality. It's not about how much they cost. It's about the density and the volume of the bristles for this particular cream makeup. That's what makes the difference. Your day-to-day bristles or your day-to-day brushes ain't gonna cut it. Not for the cream. You need at least one saint brush. But see how I am just lightly tapping in my makeup. Do you see this? Lightly tapping. I am not smearing it across my skin and dragging it. So I want you to notice where I have this contour here, right? It's created some coverage. It's also given me dimension. Thank you. I just got this at a boutique by my house. Isn't it so cute? It's very, very light and like very thin, but it's still warm and it's bubbly and I like it. It's pink. So you see that like all of these colors that I've applied, the brightness here, the brightness here, the brightness here, I'm adding dimension little by little and I haven't even used my main shade. I have not even used the color that matches my skin tone the best, right? So now I've added the dark, I've added the light. So I've added the contrast for the dimension. The dimension is what's going to give you that really beautiful, youthful look because it's going to make you look alive. It's going to give you some shape. Just look at the difference so far. Just with the contour and the brightening highlight, not even my foundation or my main highlight yet. See, no makeup and look at the shape. So now, thank you so much. I really like this thing a lot. I think it's so funky and cute. Now I'm gonna add my main highlight shade. This is the main Jazz. Everybody's like, what's my foundation color? This is called a main highlight. The reason that Saint does not call this a foundation is because all of this together is your foundation. Because you don't use just like one color all over and then build on top. When you think of a foundation, when you build a house, you lay a layer down, right? You have a layer of your foundation and then you build your house on top of that, right? So your liquid foundation, you're putting it all over your face. You're building on top of it. The liquid foundation dries because it has alcohol in it, so it evaporates, right? So now you have this layer of, let's call it paint, just for the sake of visualizing it. You have this layer of paint on your face, and then you go and add another layer of another product, and another layer of another product. And all these products have alcohols in them. They're all evaporating, and what they're doing is they're stacking, right? This makeup is all the same consistency. So it's not stacking, it's melting together. So these are creating a really beautiful foundation. That's why this is called 3D foundation, 3-dimensional foundation. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I agree. I love how you can just enhance what's already there. And that's what I feel is so important because I used makeup as a mask for far too long. Too many women use makeup as a mask because we don't feel pretty and that's not fair. And so that's why I want to help women build confidence in their makeup, but also just confidence in themselves. Okay, so I've used my darkest shade, the Scary Scary Contour. I've used my lightest shade, which is my brightening highlight. Now I'm going to use my main highlight or my foundation color. I call it foundation because that's what most people understand it as, but it's called a main highlight at Saint, okay? Same brush, the same brush that I used for my contour, and then I use this to blend my brightening highlight. Let's tap this into my main highlight shade. Tappy tap, I am just transferring the pigment from the pan to my bristles. See, not very much. It's very, very light. This is not super heavy, very, very pigmented. A little bit goes a very long way. Now I'm gonna transfer the pigment from my brush to my face. The contour is here. The brightening highlight is here. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to fill in the gaps with it. So everywhere there's not currently makeup, which is like right here, I'm going to tap that there. And then I'm going to come in for a little bit more, tappy tap tap. And I'm going to put it down here in my beard area where I also did not put a contour or a brightening highlight. Tap that in. And then just little places like in between my brightening highlight here and my contour, we'll put a little bit of that color there. So what you're seeing is I'm doing one layer of makeup. Every color is exactly where it goes on your face, and then it's gonna melt in beautifully. And I've only used one brush. So this brush is called the 3D brush, okay? It's one of the more popular brushes. If someone says, Mackenzie, I wanna buy one of the brushes, but I can only afford one, which one do I get? 3D brush. This guy, in my opinion, is the most versatile if you only use one brush. You can do everything with this. I like the options of the other brushes for a fuller coverage or, you know, more sheer bronzer or whatever, but this is fine. So you see how I have that foundation color there? It's bright right here, but then the contour's here. Watch. With this brush, because it's so dense, it's kind of an S shape. Yes, that's a really good point. I like that. You pointed that out. That'll give me a way to explain it later. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to use this brush because of the density of it, and I'm going to press it in. Just like I did the other colors. I'm not like jamming it and pulling it. I am just, how do you keep colors from mixing in the palette with one brush? You just don't. Like when you get a color, you just tap, and sometimes if the brush is big, like this is kind of big, so I might like squeeze it a little bit and boop, boop, boop. But that's, you know, something like that. But I just kind of tap this in, and you see that it just melts everything together so beautifully. You do not have to yank on your skin or do this, like none of that. You simply just don't have to. You just tap everything in. I forget that, I love that I forget I'm even wearing makeup. Saint is so lightweight. It really, really is. Like, I'm telling you, it is really, and it just feels so beautiful on your skin. And it's good for any skin tone. I can match any skin tone, any skin type, oily, dry, any age. If you have mature skin, textured skin, pores, acne, there's really, really good coverage. There's good color correction. This makeup is just simply gorgeous. So you see how with this brush, because of the density, I am able to just press it right in with no problem, and look how beautifully everything just blends. I did not one time mash this brush against my face. I have not bent one single bristle, and that's why everybody hears me say, don't bend your bristles. And I just want to show you how you can get a really beautiful coverage. And everybody says, well, I don't need contour. You don't need any makeup. You don't need none at all. But the contour, it adds a little snatch. You don't have, like, look, pretty, like, right? You don't need contour, but you also don't need contour. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty. Just add a little bit of contour. I think I'll change your mind. Yes, it's also very important that you clean your brushes weekly so you keep the integrity of the bristles. They will last forever that way. That's a really good point too. You gotta clean your brushes. But you can see I've used this same brush for 3 different colors so far, and it's totally fine. The density of this brush will allow you to just lightly press in your makeup. You do not ever have to do this. You're not swiping, you're not bending the bristles, nothing. And all the colors stay right where they are. So do you see how I did this half and it just intensifies that shadow a little bit? It just kind of enhances the shadow. It doesn't, I mean, it's kind of preference. I just like that it kind of looks like your lip is a little more pouty. But it's so that you don't have to do that, but I like to. I think at the, like, when your makeup is done, it just looks a little bit more, I don't know, because it's cute. But it just adds, wherever you add the contour is where you want it to appear like there's a shadow. That's all. So, okay, there's these 3 colors, right? My foundation, my concealer, my contour. If we're talking in Sephora talk or Ulta talk, foundation, concealer, contour. $16, $16, $16. Now we're going to add a little bit of blush, okay? Same brush, same exact brush. I'm not switching. Tappy, tappy, tap. Super lightly with the brush, right? Super, like as much or as little as you want. Tappy, tappy, tappy. Super light. Tapping. Just tapping. And you see how whenever you tap that in so lightly. Thank you, Rose. You're so sweet. You guys are so nice. See how you just lightly tap that on? It's buildable because it's cream. Let's say you want to add it a little bit heavier. Just add a little bit more. Lightly tap. Tappy, tappy, tap. You do not have to drag this across your skin. Like typically with traditional makeup, you might find yourself having to like pull at it a little bit or whatever. And then what's cool is that if you have too much makeup or you, I haven't seen private investigating videos and I missed them. They're there at least one a week. If you were to apply too much, take a fluffy brush and just bloop, 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 like blend it away. This makeup is for anybody because it doesn't matter what your skill level is or what your makeup experience level is. You can totally just like, it's going to work for you. Like it's easy to learn. If you mess it up or put too much, you can blend it away. If you put it in the wrong place, you can blend it up and move your makeup up. If you don't add enough, you can add too much. Cream makeup is wonderful because it doesn't evaporate on your skin. It does not have those alcohols. There's only 11 ingredients and they're really, really hydrating. So you will just find it sitting on your skin so beautifully. Thank you, Kylie. Did you listen to yesterday's episode or Monday's episode? Whew. Washing the brushes. I know you have talked about it before. I just posted a brush spray video and then I have a brush cleansing video with the soap that I can post also. If you find that helpful, I'd be happy to post that for you. As a matter of fact, I think that's on my to-do list. Okay, so on this side of my face, I used the 3D brush, which is a kind of medium to full coverage because the bristles don't bend. When they are like tight like this, they are just jamming that product just in that area. So it tends to lends itself to more full coverage, okay? So that's this side. And you can see that it's not even super cakey. It's not even super heavy. If you want bad mamma jamma full coverage, like you're like, nah, I need like full glam full coverage, this guy. The buff brush is the best for super full coverage because you can see how much shorter these bristles are, even less bendy. Like these are even more stiff. The stiffer, the more you press and the more it just kind of presses in and you get more full coverage that way, okay? So that's the 3D brush on this side. On the other side, I'm going to use a more fluffy brush. So I will get a little bit of a lighter coverage. I love that they're double-ended. How many are there? 18 brushes, I think. So there's 36 total, something like that. It's a lot. It's like for the price, like the biggest brush is like the most expensive one, I think is like 40 or 42 bucks. And it's 2 brushes. And everybody's like, oh, brushes are expensive. Like, I've seen how much y'all pay at Ulta for some. I have a $75 It by Ulta brush. Y'all can't fool me. I know what brushes cost. I know. Okay, so this brush is the 3D brush. And did you know IIID on the Saint website means 3D? Because I didn't know that for like 3 months. I signed up as a Saint artist under corporate and had no idea. You guys, I was saying IIID forever. Can I ask about freckles? I have freckles and have never been able to wear full face. Oh my gosh, Kylie. Yes, I'm so glad you asked that. If you have freckles, whether you are fair skin or not, if you use Bella Bronzer, which for most skin tones, obviously I want to look at your exact skin tone, but if you use, hold on, is this the bronzer? Stand by. Yes. If you use Bella Bronzer as a foundation, I know, I sound crazy. I want to do this. I'm going to do this on my face and then I'll wipe it off so I can do the other half with the other brush. If you use Bella Bronzer, which is, this one, and you use this with a fluffy brush like this, and you apply it all over your face as a kind of like a foundation, you will enhance your skin, like it'll give you an even skin tone without making your freckles look chalky. So you can actually not enhance your freckles, but like not make them look chalky. So once you add the bronzer all over, really lightly dusted on, it takes those freckles to another level. So instead of you being like super light skin here and then all these freckles are darker, now everything is just a really beautiful like amalgamation of this really beautiful like bronzy kind of color. And you can leave it like that Or you can then go in and add contour, and then you can add concealer, or just add foundation on top of it. I don't like that, like, you probably won't, you'll find yourself not needing that much makeup. Once you do the bronzer all over, your freckles will not look chalky. You don't have to worry about how do I match my skin and then also match my freckles. Use the bronzer. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. Fluffy brush, Bella bronzer. This is actually a combo, like on the website. It's one of the collections. You get the blush and bronzer, this brush and this color, and it saves you like 11 or 12 bucks or something if you buy them together. But anyways, you dust that all over your face. So if you have freckles, dust the bronzer all over, add your contour. You don't need a foundation ever again. I mean, you can, if you want to add foundation after that, you can. You'll be like, holy crap, like that looks so good. And it doesn't not match your skin tone. It's not going to not match your neck. Like, it's magic. I'm telling you, I have been doing it for years. I know what I'm doing. Try it. You'll be like, holy bananas, that actually works. She's not high on crack. Which a lot of people think I am after I color match them. They're like, I don't know what you matched me to, but this isn't going to work out. And then I'm like, just put the damn makeup on your face. And then they do. And they're like, oh, okay, you were right. Do you end up using more product with the denser brushes? That's a good question, Amanda. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. You can use more product with the denser brushes. However, you don't necessarily have to. Sometimes it's just about the application, not about the amount of product. So it just depends on how you apply it and how you wear your makeup. That's all. Does the cream makeup transfer? It doesn't transfer any more than any other makeup. I mean, if you rub it and scrub it, then yeah, it's gonna transfer. But I have tickle fights with my son. He's 10. I lay on my husband's chest. You can lay down and take a nap. Your makeup's not. I mean, obviously, I recommend a setting spray too, because I just swear by setting sprays. But no, it's not one of those creams that's like wet. It doesn't just stay wet. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it feels like skin. Like, it doesn't feel like anything on your face. How do you store your brushes since they're double-ended? Like this. They're fine. They're totally fine. There ain't nothing wrong with my brushes. Just like that. They're totally fine. The density, these brushes are much more dense than like a regular brush because they have to be a little bit more dense because the bristles have to be a little bit thicker just because of the cream makeup. So they don't get all bendy and soft and weird or anything. All I have is my TJ Maxx brushes, and those don't even compare. They don't. Like, those are good for great makeup, but I mean, those are good for makeup, but they're not for this makeup. I'm gonna go try. This sounds insane, but I'm gonna try. Oh, you have to let me know if you love it with the bronzer, because I'm telling you, you put that bronzer all over your freckles, girl, you'll be like, holy bananas. Okay, so I used, on this side of my face, I used this brush. This is a 3D brush, medium to full coverage, because these are not so bendy, right? So this is very dense, and I pressed my makeup on. I did not bend, swipe, drag, pull, nothing. I just stamped and lightly kind of tapped that all in, right? And look how light. It's very, very pretty. And you can go even fuller coverage if you want. On this side, I'm using just this fluffiness. See how it's very bendy, it's more fluffy, right? And I don't think I'll use this one. I just want to show you just one brush to make it easier. So this is how we're going to do this. This brush has two ends. This one is much more fluffy. Even this end is fluffy. So neither one of these are dense like this one, okay? This is called the blend brush. Is this the blend brush? Hold on, I'm probably lying. That's the shape brush. Hold on, I'm lying. Let me get the blend brush because the blend brush is even better. Hold on. That's the blend brush, right? No, hold on. No, that one's right. Stand by. Stand by. I want to get it right. That's the wash brush. Hold on, I'm coming. That's the wash brush. I have a gazillion, you guys. Blend brush right here, baby. No, wait, hold on. They look very similar. Hold on. Hold your panties on. Where's the... I swear I have one that's... Hold on. Is that one it? Hold on a minute. These are all... Where's my blend? Hold on. honest where I'm getting at. Maybe I will just use the shape brush. The shape brush is good too. I think that the blend brush has a little bit more fluffy that I wanted to show you, but found it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was a mess. That was a madhouse. Okay. Blend brush. Fluffy, long bristles, so they're longer and they're a little bit more aloof, kind of just chilling, right? Super fluffy, nothing's really dense. You can apply your makeup like this, especially if you want to do it really lightly. This is going to be for a lighter coverage. Treat your cream like it is a powder. So just like you would dust into a powder, you dust into your makeup. So we start with our contour. Lightly dust into our contour with the smaller end. You can use the bigger end too. Dust into it and then lightly dust into it, right? You can even do, I'll show you how to do it even lighter with the bigger end. Dust into it, sweepy sweepies, sweepy sweepies. This is going to give you a little bit of a lighter coverage, but you'll still get the same impact, which is really cool. So you'll still get the same like dimension, just with a little bit lighter coverage. So it's just like a powder. So what you'll see is that you'll feel like you're not picking any up on your brush because it's a cream and it's like, you're like, that's not very much. But you see how it's just on the tips of the bristles? And you just sweep it. And I know it looks like there's nothing there, but I promise you, you can look at the shit. You can already see it. You see what I mean? So it's not like super, super intense. Look a little bit here, a little bit less dense. So it's a little bit more fluffy here. Sweepy, sweepy. A little bit more fluffy here. So it's just going to be a little bit lighter. Okay. So this is a more light feather sweeping. Okay. So now the same thing with our brightening highlight. When you use your brightening highlight with the lighter brush, lighter coverage, but either way, we're feathering, sweeping. We are not jamming this in here to pick up more product. Okay. Same brush that I just used for my contour, lightly, like so, like it's just a baby. Okay, lightly, okay? And then if you want to pick up more, you totally can. So lightly, we're just feathering, sweeping, and look, you can see it's already giving me coverage. Lightly, it's just a baby. Lightly. Little by little, you can add more. So you can see how this super light, fluffier brush is giving a lighter coverage. If you want to use the bigger end, you totally can. Sweepy sweepies, sweepy sweepy, sweepy sweepy. Everything is going in the same areas that I put it on this side. Just with a lighter hand, a more like feather, a more feathery kind of look. So it's a little bit lighter coverage. See that? Lightly. Okay, and you can still build it. Then when you use your main highlight or what you might know as foundation, lightly sweepy sweepy. See how it's just on the tips of those bristles, and you can see I got a lot because there we go, it focused. You see that's how much makeup I got. Lightly sweeping. This one, you're allowed to bend the bristles. I want you to bend the bristles and really sweep that like a feather. On this side, we were stamping. This side, you can bend the bristles because this brush was intended for the bristles to bend. And you can tell that because of how easily they bend. If they're not trying to bend and you're forcing them to, then that's not going to give you the coverage that you want. Because if you try to take a full coverage brush and make it light coverage, it's going to look a mess and vice versa. So don't do that. Lightly sweep, just like a powder. Sweepy, 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 sweepy. Sweepy, 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 sweepy. See how this one, I'm still not mashing and dragging because you don't want to bend your brush in half. But look how those bristles are lightly flowing over my skin. Pretty cool, right? I'm telling you, however you want to apply your makeup, a little more intense, a little more feathery. So this is a little bit lighter. This is a little bit heavier, but you really start to get a feel for exactly what it is that you want, right? So, and this is only 4 shades. That's just these 4 shades. We're not worried about no other shades right now. Just these 4 to create dimension and to create whatever it is that you want to create. Same brush, lightly sweeping into the blush, lightly sweeping onto the back of the cheekbones. Blend it up to Jesus. And this is, see how my bristles are bending? because they're supposed to. On this side, they weren't bending. We were doing this, right? That's the difference. So on this side, it's a little bit lighter coverage. You're still blending, but you're still not yanking the color across your skin. So I want you to look at the difference. Fuller coverage, a little bit more intense, a little bit more impactful, super light, very feathery, very sheer, and super, so like you can do your makeup however you want, but you can do the same makeup using different tools to get a different coverage. And it's really cool. Some days you might not feel like a full face of, heavy duty makeup. So now let me show you, that's just these 4 colors. So if you want to get a palette with just these 4 colors, that you can get like a pre-made collection. You don't even have to get a color match, and it comes with like this brush. It's like $107, or you can build your own palette. It's $16, $16, $16, $16. Like, it's totally budget friendly. Like, do whatever you want. No one's gonna, you don't have to buy a certain amount or whatever. So if you allow me to color match you, then I will recommend the shades to you, send over all my recommendations, and then you just purchase whatever you want. So this is the blend brush. Use the blend brush to do that light sweeping. That's a Kane Brown's Nana. That's so cool. If you really are Kane Brown's Nana, I'm going on Friday to see him in concert. I don't listen to country music. I don't like it. And I didn't know who Kane Brown was, but there's an artist on my Saint team, and that's her. She's closely related to him. So she's like, do you want to go see Kane with me? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. He's in Tampa this weekend, so we're going to go see Kane Brown. I have no idea who he is. So my friend that is related to him is going to introduce me to him, and I'm going to, I don't know if I should like pretend like, oh yeah, I love your music, or should I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but hey, it's so nice to meet you. Oh, yay! Okay, cool. It's so nice to meet you. Hi. I have Morgan Wallen's mama. She follows me. And I didn't know who Morgan Wallen was either, because I don't do country. And so she's like, somebody said, Morgan Wallen's mama is following you. And I'm like, what? So funny. It's so nice to meet you. Okay, good. Yay. I'm so glad. Yay. At least listen before you go. I am going to listen. Like, that's what I told my friend. I was like, I got to listen. Like, I've heard some of his songs, and I get it, but I don't know, like, who it's by. So now I'm like, I could do my homework. Like, I got to listen to some Kane Brown before I go. Because, I don't know, like, if you meet this guy and you're like, I have no idea who you are, but, like, what, you know what I mean? So, but it'll be really fun. I'm excited. She's coming into town, so that's what I'm most excited about. Nice to meet you. That's so exciting to me. Oh my gosh. I get to meet Tiffany's mom. So cool. Love her. Love my Tiffany. Okay, so super full coverage, like very more intense, right? So a little bit lighter. The dimension is a little bit lighter, but still really nice coverage. So you can get really, really beautiful coverage either way you wear your makeup. Like, do whatever works for you. Now I want to show you. So this is the 3D brush. This one is the blend brush. So this one's probably the most fluffy, and this one's probably not the most dense, but the most dense that I think a lot of people use. So now let's add extras. Like, let's say we were to add some bronzer, right? Like, you love bronzer. I'm gonna show you how I wear bronzer versus how you can wear bronzer if you want to not be crazy like me. I like to take the 3D brush and go nuts into my bronzer. I'm still just kind of tapping. Just the tips of the bristles. I'm not like jamming it in there like crazy, right? I went to a Blackberry Smoke concert, bought tickets for my husband, never heard that. We went and still had a wonderful. Oh, it's going to be a great time. Like, I'm going to have a good time. I'm really excited. I just didn't know who Kane Brown was. Like, I was like, I didn't know who Kane Brown was. And I felt so stupid because they were like, he's a pretty popular, like, country star. And I was like, no idea. He's cute too. He's a very good looking fella. Very handsome guy. Okay. So this bronzer, you see how with my 3D brush, I just tapped it on. Tappy tap, tappy tap. Tappy tap, and I just kind of come over my nose a little bit, right? So still tapping. So this is the 3D brush. Tappy tap, tappy tap. And I just tap that in. And you see how that's like, this is how I like my bronzer, like super intense, right? Or with the blend brush, treat it like a powder, little bit of sweepies, nothing crazy. We're just a baby, right? And then lightly dusting that on. So same exact products, just a different brush, same exact placement, just a different brush. Everything's the same, just the application is different. And this is why this makeup is so cool and so fun, because you can like literally do whatever you want, and it's still, you still don't have to dig through a big makeup bag. You can still mix and match your colors, and you can still do all those things just in one palette. You don't have that crazy big makeup bag anymore. And that's what I think really helps as far as like the convenience, and it's just so beautiful. So that's the bronzer. So super heavy, a little bit lighter, literally whatever you want. Let's say we add some setting powder, right? You can use this brush, this fluffy brush, setting, swipey, a little bit of setting right here, pressing in some setting powder, right? And then putting in some setting powder up here, a little bit of dusties, right? So the setting powder is basically just to kind of give you a kind of a flawless kind of filtered finish without actually using a filter, right? It's kind of cool. Like the makeup is the filter. If you want to use the 3D brush on this side, same thing, but with a more dense brush. Press, stamp, tap, tap, tap. Thank you so much, Nadine. I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. We will be in Australia at the end of the year. So make sure you get on my email list so that you can I can send you the update. So this one is the 3D brush, the one that says IIID, which I didn't know meant 3D. It does. It means 3D because I don't do a lot of mathing. So I did not know what Roman numerals were. Like I knew what Roman numerals were. I just didn't put two and two together. Okay, that's fine. So this is the 3D brush. Went on an overnight trip a couple weeks ago, and first time packing with this makeup was so great. Isn't it? It really is easy. I made a joke on one of my videos the other day. I was like, I used to pack I would steal half of my husband's suitcase for just my makeup. No joke. Just my makeup. And I was like, now you can use it for shoes. It's fine. He's fine. My husband could pack for a 3-week long trip in like a grocery bag. Like it's fine. I can use some of his suitcase. It's fine. Fine. So setting powder. Everything else, you guys, is totally optional. If you add a little bit of illuminator, I usually use my finger, so no matter what side, you can add a little bit of illuminator. You can add this to your palette or keep it out of your palette. You can add more blush colors. You can add more lippy shades. You can literally do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Like literally do whatever you want to. Just do literally whatever you want. See? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just like that. Just like that. A little bit more full coverage, a little bit more intense. This one's a little bit softer, a little bit more blended. And look, they're still both really, really beautiful. They're still both really, really light. And that's when you get to choose like your different brushes. This big one is one of my super faves, especially for the summer. If you are a girl who is just like, I don't want a full face of makeup, I just want to do like some summer makeup, try this. Take this big fluffy brush. Oh yes. Can you swatch it for me? This is nude. This one's nude. Nudie Judy. Nudie Judy. Boop. That's the Nudie Judy. That's the one I have on. That's nude. That's nude. And then you blend it. That's nudie. Nudie Judy. You can wear these as heavy or as light as you want. The more you blend, the lighter it'll get. That's like, so it's kind of cool. The colors, don't be afraid of the lip and cheek colors that you see online. They are not as crazy as you think. They are very much more sheer. They don't actually go on like that. You know what I mean? Like you blend it. Okay. If you are someone who's like, I'm a summer girl, I do not want a full face of makeup, get a glow kit. A glow kit is bronzer, illuminator, blush, and I use color correctors. You can put 2 eyeshadows, you can put another blush color, do whatever you want. I'm not your mama, I don't care. I can help you build one that suits what your needs are. Just comment like glow or whatever, and I can help you. But the way that you use this is with this big fluffy brush, and you can literally come in all 3 of these shades. So you get your bronzer, your illuminator, and your blush all in one. So let's say you are not wearing unicorn. Yes, I have all of them. Let's say you are not wearing any makeup and you just want a little pop of color. You're going to the beach. You cannot be bothered. Big fluffy brush, all 3 colors. So we're getting warm, we're getting glow, we're getting color, and you're just gonna boop, 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 and we're just gonna do this kind of all over here. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So we're pretending we don't have makeup on. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Just like that. Just like that. That's what we're doing for summer. Boom, your whole face is done. These are actually, look at these spikes. Aren't they cool? They're like diamond spikes. These are so freaking rad. I love these earrings. Thank you so much. Do you have a recommendation for sunscreen? Yes. I personally use this. Actually, it's funny you asked that because I put this in my my newsletter, my Saint newsletter that you guys will get probably on Saturday. I have some recommendations for this. This is my absolute favorite to use under my Saint. I do my skincare, so like my moisturizers, my creams, and all the things, and then SPF as a primer, and then I put my makeup on top. It is beautiful. It is perfect. And then I was at my my medical spa today, and they had the Skin Better, which I've used Skin Better before, and I really like Skin Better. They have a SPF in a compact with a sponge, so you could just bloop, 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 and it's really good stuff, and it's SPF 75. This is SPF 36, which is the only thing I don't like about it, but if it's just like an everyday. But if you're gonna be out in the sun, like 100% by the pool or like at the beach, or you are for sure gonna be outside for a while, I would get something that has a little bit more SPF. Supergoop just came out with one that is, I can't remember what it's called, something tint, but it is a mineral tinted SPF, and it's like an SPF 50, and the Skin Better one is like an SPF 75. So those are some really, really good options for you. But just for everyday, I love the Elastin. It gives a nice glow. As a PI, how do you get away with dressing up as a nurse and going into a nursing home? What happens if you get caught? Well, that's a really good question, Juliet. Actually, I didn't dress up as a nurse. I just put on scrubs. I literally just put on scrubs. I went to Walmart. I bought scrubs. That's what I did. I didn't have a nameplate, tag, code, whatever. I didn't have nothing. I literally just put on scrubs as like an outfit. Like I didn't like say that I was a nurse, nothing. I was literally just wearing scrubs. And so if I get caught, like, what do you mean? If someone was like, hey, I know you don't work here, I would just be like, yeah, I don't work here. And they'd be like, what are you doing here? And I'd be like, I'd probably make something up or whatever. But if they're like, hey, you're not supposed to be here, please leave, then you leave. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, once they ask you to leave, then if you stay, you're trespassing. So I'm not gonna break the law, but if like I wear scrubs and you assume that I'm a nurse, like, that's on you. I never said I was. It just and then everybody just thought that I was, but that, like, nobody asked me directly. Sometimes the cases are really difficult, though, because there's no, like, I needed a reason to stay in there. Like, as a person, like, you can just walk in, like, all willy-nilly and just, like, walk in, right? I just happened to walk in with scrubs on, so nobody questioned why I was there for so long. They just thought I was on a shift, and if you're on a shift, then you're there for that long. So, I don't know, being a PI is wild. It's a wild situation out here. Being PI is wild. So anyway, so if you want me to help you build a palette, just comment match. I will get your selfie, and I will match you to the colors that you need, and then I will help you determine like what brushes you might want, and help you determine like eyeshadow colors. But this makeup is flippin' gorgeous. When doing your lipstick, does it apply easier with a brush or your finger? I use my finger, but if I'm like, I'll do, like, sometimes you'll see me doing this. I'll like tap my blush on my cheeks, and then I'll like just do this number right here, and then it just transfers from your brush to your lips, like no big deal. And then sometimes you'll see me applying like all the crazy stripes and colors with this small smudge brush, and when I do the blush, and then I'll come here and apply it. But usually I just put it on that way. I think it's really preference. A lot of it is preference. Totally, Jana. Usually Jana, for you, what do you want in the fourth spot? Like color correctors, or do you want another blush, or what? Because otherwise it's just Bella Bronzer, Rose Gold Illuminator, and Baby Watermelon, or any color blush that you want. But it's just Bella and Rose Gold. It's universal for anybody. And look at the glow in the color. It's gorgeous. I'm telling you, You cannot go wrong with it. Just so nice. It's so nice. Blush. Okay, so then just bronzer, Bella bronzer, rose gold illuminator, and pick 2 blushes. So easy. I'm someone who likes a different color blush than I do lips. So I'm someone who would also want like 2 different colors. Royal, by the way, I want you guys to know there is a color called Royal and there's one called Black Cherry. And they're very, 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 very dark. And everybody's like, oh my God, that's so dark. Like, I can't believe it. This is one of them. This is a lip and cheek color. This is called Royal. And it looks really dark. And it looks like gothic and really crazy. When I tell you, it is not at all what you expect. It's just really like light and sheer. That's that. Woo! That's that royal color. You see what I mean? They're not super scary. They are not super dark. They're very, very sheer. You can lighten them by wearing less, or you can blend them with other shades. They're just really pretty. It's just like a little tinted chappy, if you will, like nothing crazy. Yeah, Black Cherry is just simply gorgeous. Like Black Cherry is the business. 100% Black Cherry is the business. Oh, okay. Injector Alana. That's the girl responsible for my lippies. She did my lips today, and she does my Botox to make sure my face don't move. She's cool. She's here, like, she's right by my house. She's at Elevate Medical Spa. If you're in Tampa or in the Plant City area, go see her. She's pretty rad. She's pretty amazing. Hi. I got to see her twice today. Anyway, so build a palette. I can help you build one, whatever you want. These are basically everything. Foundation, concealer, contour, blush, illuminator. What is this one? Setting powder. And then if you're someone who likes like all the jazz and all the things, like you can build it custom however you want. I have a couple foundation shades. My bronzer's in here. A couple eyeshadows. A couple lip and cheek. Like, build it however you want. Ain't nobody your mama. You do whatever you want. Anyways, yeah, just comment match or text me or send a carrier pigeon or whatever you want to do. And I will match your beautiful face and send you your colors, and you can do all the things. Anyway, so I'm going to go spend time with my husband, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me tonight. And please, anytime you have any questions, you guys just message me or text me or do whatever you want, and I will be there to answer your questions. So I love you so much. Have a good night. Bye, guys.